Welcome, everyone. My name is George, and this show is Don't Panic Flip. And tonight we have a very special stream. Pez, you're killing me. We have Pez Johnson from Pez Johnson on Twitch here with us, and JediMcMuffin moderating this evening. Gentlemen, how are you doing?
I'm well. How are you, George?
I'm doing well. We've only been on the phone technically going over all the soft.
Really.
Yeah,
I'm doing
super
great.
easy.
This is my first stream in a month.
Well, I am glad. Yeah, welcome back to streaming. Bertle, JediMcMuffin, Durbin, and Captain Spam, welcome. Oh, and this is all on Manu's birthday too. That's right. And PT3K's birthday is today. How old is he? He's got to be like 60 something, right?
No, he's like 23.
23. Okay, cool. Awesome. Bill from Memphis, good evening. All right, so Jedi, what are we battling on tonight?
You are playing Tron Legacy from Stern Pinball. It is my dream theme. I wish I could have one. Maybe I will someday, but it's a very cool game.
It is so much fun. I'm surrounded, I feel like, by people who absolutely love the Tron theme. Now, big question for you guys. Do you prefer OG Tron or Tron Legacy?
Yes.
You can't, gun to the head, you can't pick one?
Is my favorite movie of all time. The 1982 classic is my favorite movie of all time. Now, I will usually follow that up with saying that Raiders of the Lost Ark is my favorite good movie of all time, because Tron is... It's not Shakespeare, but it came out when I was 6. It just came out in that magical time of my life when computers and games were all just kind of coming together and stuff like that. I got to see it in the theater. My dad took me and my sister with me, and it's just a great time. And then as it came out on video and then other forms of entertainment, I just loved it. And when they started to make a sequel, I was in love with it even more. And then pinball came along, and I couldn't find it anywhere because where I was living. It was just what happened. So I didn't get to Tron Legacy Pinball until much later.
Okay, but still in the Tron universe. And then Jedi, yeah, what's your thoughts?
Well, my funny tidbit with Tron is that it was one of 2 movies that my parents rented unknowingly on, I think, on Betamax. One was Transformers the movie and one was Tron, and they brought it home and we couldn't watch it, and I threw a big fit and I got in a lot of trouble, and so I wasn't allowed to watch those 2 movies for a long time because of said tantrum. And I vaguely remember this, but yeah, so I actually didn't even see the original Tron until Legacy came out. So,
wow.
So Legacy went right past Star Wars and Lord of the Rings is my favorite movie. You gotta watch it with a bitchin' sound system. Like, you just have to. The audio in it is off the charts.
Did you see it in IMAX 3D?
No, I never saw it in the theater.
So I accidentally saw it 3 times in the theater. Well, accidentally on purpose. I participated in the augmented reality game, so I got a chance to see it before it was actually released as one of those test audiences. So that was the first time. Then I went on opening night at the Colorado IMAX theater, and then I saw it one more time because I knew it just wasn't going to be the same in a home theater format. So I'm glad that I took the opportunity to
actually go see it.
I did.
Yeah.
Fun little trivia, and I was telling George about this on chat yesterday. The copy of Tron that I have on my media server is the open matte full 16:9 version, which probably has a lot of the IMAX framing in it. And it's got the lossless 7.1 master audio track.
Awesome.
And yeah, I got 7.1 rocking in here and a 65 OLED screen that you sit 6 feet from. So it's a pretty big screen when you're sitting 6 feet from it.
Right.
So it's a good experience.
By the way, Captain Spam commenting on the fact that my audio was louder than yours. I did notice just now that the levels were a little higher. I dropped mine down. Hopefully I'm much more in line with your guys' audio. Captain Spam, feel free to comment and hopefully we're a little bit more in line at this point. I don't know if I'm like speaking more into the microphone or what, but I dropped my levels down just a bit. Also, DGen R8. I feel is that a reference?
Degenerate, that is my sister. Hi, Jen.
Hi Pez's sister. Much better. Okay, cool. And Jedi Gil, Captain Spam, welcome to the stream. And Jedi Gil just saw Tron Legacy yesterday. Now, I grew up, I was born in '82, so I didn't get the opportunity to see Tron right away. And when it came out at the theater, but I did see it when I was like 10 or 11 and fell in love. And I loved the movie. So I really enjoyed the idea of being a part of Tron Legacy when it came out. And I went to the theater and I almost walked out. I was so disappointed at the theater. The whole movie seemed, I couldn't even tell you what my thought process was other than I disliked it. And I didn't see it again until I played Tron Legacy about 4 or 5 years ago. And went back and watched it and fell in love. I'm like, oh my gosh, how did I ever dislike this film? Tron Legacy is wonderful on levels. It's great and very enjoyable. So I now prefer Tron Legacy just because it's newer and the pacing is more consistent, I feel like, with how movies are today. But Tron still kind of started it, so it has a very special place.
I love all its subtleties. Like, I love the part where they're going towards the light cycle arena, and the fireworks are, I think it's the sounds from Missile Command from Atari. Like, that just blows my mind. Like, someone had a lot of fun picking that out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I even going back to the original Tron, it's a different time when they made that movie, and it took them a lot of effort and a lot of different CGI houses kind of came together to make different animations for it. So I guess it's the grandfather of all computer animation movies, even though a lot of the movie is actually done with some traditional animations as well. But it's just got that soft spot in my heart that I just love kind of that whole encompassing movie. If they make a third one, I kind of hope that they do, and I kind of hope that what we've got is what we got, because I really like what we have right now.
I do like it. It's just it's an entire world, right? Like that's part of the Marvel universe or any of these other universes where an entity owns it. And I feel like this is the hidden gem that Disney understands, and they're just waiting until they have the right story or the right people or the right technology to do it justice, because there's so much there and they own the rights to all of it. Like, it's always been Disney. So I feel like even if we don't get something soon, we're going to go back to the world of Tron at some point, because there's way too many stories there.
Yep, I hope we do.
Jumping over then to the objectives for this evening, here's a quick overview. We're going to start off with some high score, and then we're going to see the first person to initiate disc multi-ball. And then we're going to go through and complete 2 modes. And that's not just start, but you actually have to complete 2 different modes. Then initiate light cycle multi-ball, initiate Quora multi-ball. And then this is going to be the fun one, I think. You have to get to see a simulation. And no rules, besides, like, you can't take the glass off. It's whoever gets there first. It doesn't matter on ball. It doesn't matter on if you start the game over or whatever. Just get to see a simulation faster than the other person. And if that takes you 6 games, but you still do it faster, that's absolutely fine. Next up,
sounds about on par with everything else.
Yeah.
6 games. So.
Yeah, 6 games. I like it. Next up, you got to start light cycle multi-ball and Quora multi-ball. Now, you don't have to actually start them at the same time. Great question, Pez, earlier. You just have to have them both running simultaneously, meaning you can start Quora and then bring in light cycle. They can both be lit at the same time, and you hit the scoop once and they both start. The second that happens, you yell out, "Got it," and we'll call it at that moment. The next one, I imagine, might honestly be the most difficult, which is start gem. Which I know, for whatever reason, man, sometimes you can find that shot and it's easy, you start it, no problem. Sometimes you just can't find it. Next up is complete 3 modes, and then finally extra ball. Now, each one of these we're gonna have Pez walk us through how to actually get to each one of these. And I'm gonna say, obviously, I know how to get to it. I'm in this here and we're battling, but I'm gonna pay attention anyways as as Dave is walking us through how exactly to complete each one of these modes. And who knows, maybe even accidentally get some insight into how to do it better than I might normally have done it. So Those are our modes, and our first one here is high score. Pez, are you ready to jump in and let's play a quick game?
Yeah, when you're ready.
All right, this is not timed. It's just high score, standard game. Really an opportunity for us to find the shots, get dialed in, and have some fun. Still, Jedi, do you want to count us down?
Sure. Feel the rhythm, do the thing. Don't remember the rest. Here's your blade. Plunge.
Fight!
Here we go.
I'm gonna cheat and pipe Manu's voice in for the next one of those.
Okay.
He was eat the stuff and here's your bling.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. It's been a while.
And that's going right down the drain. So that was great. First ball, it's awesome.
It's
Hey,
like
GR Bond.
has, Flynn flashing. Started up that.
Yeah, you almost always get Flynn going as long as you go down that Zen shot. It's like Flynn just kind of happens. There's only been one time that I've started sea simulation without actually having Flynn completed.
All right.
And it was a high score we were going for here?
Yes.
Alright.
Oh my God. Oh wow, there goes ball two. This
No
could be
no one saw that, George. No one saw that.
No one saw it.
Nobody saw it. I'm
Nope.
not looking. We got my own
George
game
is on
going
ball
over here.
3. Pez is on ball 2.
Well, now I'm gonna be on ball 3.
All right, left ramp or Quora. Let's go Quora. There we go. Whoo! So got that nice little combo, end of the line jackpot, and went right into light cycle. So I'm gonna try and focus immediately on Quora.
Now, was that combo into the gem shot?
That is, there is a combo into the gem shot.
Yeah, it is called the Sirens Combo.
Oh my God.
It's okay. You got me as long as you got over 3.4.
I did, I got 6.6.
There you go.
I had Quora lit too, oh. Okay.
Man.
All right.
Was that the warm-up round, or was that the real round?
That's the
That
real
was the
round as
real
far as
first
I'm
round.
concerned.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
First
That's save
round,
Dave.
Mr. Don't Panic flip.
So switching the scene back over to chat, and all right, you see that point. The first point goes down there. That's we're gonna keep track of that, and in each of the scenes, you'll be able to see what the current score is of each player. MPT3K. Welcome. Thank you. My hat's off to you, sir. Happy birthday, by the way. Thank you so much for that raid. Yeah, huge. Happy birthday to Mr. Manu. If you're just joining us, we are Iron Pinball battling on Tron this evening. We have Pez Johnson and JediMcMuffin. Pez and I are going at it. We just completed the first objective, and it's 1-0 as of right now. Steadiest Rhyme, welcome to the stream. Iron Fox, Mr. Hardluck, VP Fiends, MPT3K, Flipstream, Wind Raider, welcome everyone. And you guys showed up just in time because I have the first question to go out here. So Pez, how did you get into pinball?
So the story that I always say is that I've been into pinball for most of my life. I got into competitive pinball back in 2018 because I didn't know there was competitive pinball before that. So if you go all the way back to, let's say, you know, about the time Tron came out, 1982, 1983, my dad also taking me not only to that movie, but also taking me to the local sub shop or the hot dog place nearby. You know, after kindergarten, he would take me to these places, and we'd throw a couple of quarters into video games and stuff like that. And sometimes they would have pinball there. My main pinball getting into was at the drugstore Skaggs that was next to the Albertsons on Peoria and Mississippi. And my mom would go shopping at the drugstore for whatever, and I would go play the video games or sometimes the pinball. And the pinball drew me to it because of the lure of the free games. And it was probably on Bally's Star Trek, Gottlieb's The Amazing Spider-Man, and stuff like that. And then it just kind of progressed from there. I always liked pinball. I always tried to play pinball wherever it was at, even when I was working in the arcade in 95 and 96. But like I say, it kind of hit a dry spell when I went to college in Nebraska. There was like no pinball there.
It's
and of course,
Nebraska.
Pinball kind of had that. Yeah, pinball also had that downtime as well. Kind of up until when Tron came out in 2011, and then I slowly got back into it, and then found the competitive scene in 2018. So that's where I'm at, and now we've got 11 pinball machines here in the basement.
Ooh, what? Yeah, what pinball machines do you have?
So the big thing is the EM pinball machines that I stream on Mondays on my channel, mostly. So way back on the line is Dealer's Choice from Williams. That's from 74. Then it goes to Fast Draw from Gottlieb in 75. Old Chicago is my birthday game. Came out in April of 1976. Bowling Queen, Captain Fantastic. What?
When you say birthday game, it came out on your birthday, or did you get it as a birthday present?
We were both out April of 1976.
Oh wow, the game was created
We
in the
were
same.
born on that day.
You were both born.
suppose.
Okay.
My mom loves when I talk about it that way. Speakeasy by Bally is from 1982. High Speed, I'm pin sitting right now. That's actually another one of our competitive pinball people's things. Tron, I'm also in a temporary trade with. World Cup, which isn't Bally's World Cup Soccer. This is the 1978 Solid State from Williams. Magic City is another EM, and Knight Rider by Bally is in the corner, broken. Haven't gotten that one work, but that's 11.
Sorry, wait, Knight Rider based on the television show?
It's a shadowy flight. No, it's actually it's based on semi-trucking and the whole kind of CB radio type of culture.
Breaker 19 kind of stuff. Got it.
And Knight Rider came out in 76, and then they made a solid state version in 77. It was at that time when Bally was switching over from EMs to solid state machines, so they produced both models. I have the EM model I need to work on.
Okay,
Yeah,
well that
11.
is quite the collection. And on top of that, you guys, if you're not familiar, you probably are, but Pez streams often. In fact, do you have a standard schedule?
So Monday, I like to do EM Monday. That's at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time.
Okay.
We're gonna probably take a little hiatus because I'm gonna probably start playing League at Blizzard Mountain Pinball.
What just happened?
Got a raid?
I got a raid. I don't think so. I think that is
I don't know. It was over there.
No.
But
I
anyway.
saw the notification come through. I think that might be Manu's duplicate raid notification coming through. Yeah.
I love it. All right, so then I will keep on going. And then Wednesday, I follow Colorado Pinball Collective, approximately 11 p.m. And then on Friday, I also do that too. So it's late night streaming on Wednesday and Friday. So there
And
you go.
Monday. So you're Monday, Wednesday, Friday, late night streaming, and late night Colorado time, right?
Yeah, we're late night Colorado time, so even later everywhere else.
Yeah, no one apparently cares about the mountain time zone. I have found this out.
No, it's a forgotten time zone.
It is. Everyone, it's Central, Eastern, or Pacific. People, I don't even think realize that there is a mountain time zone.
It is the least populated time zone.
Okay. Well, switching back over then to objectives, we have the next one, which is disc multi-ball. I'm going to flip over here to focus on you, Pez. Pez, can you do me a favor and or do us all a favor and walk us through how exactly we start disc multi-ball?
So disc multi-ball is kind of a 3-step process. There is a shield in front of the recognizer here that houses the spinning disc behind it. And you have to hit that shot a few times. And it depends, I think it's 4 times for the first go around. It will then drop the shield a la Attack from Mars. You don't have to hit any particular one of the 3 targets. You just need to do that. Thank you very much. And then when the shield goes down, then you have to go into the disc 7 times. in
7.
order for it to start disc multi-ball. There's no, it has to stay in there for so long or whatever. Occasionally, if it gets held up in the disc as it's spinning, it'll count a couple of times, one going in, one going out, because it's just an opto that it goes through. And then that's starting your multi-ball. You'll get 3-ball multi-ball, and all of the blue disc shots will light on all the shots. You can hit them for jackpots, but your main objective to complete disc multi-ball is to shoot it into the disc 6 times. The shield will then re-raise, and you need to hit the shield 3 times. The shield will go down, and then you just need to get it in the disc once to get the super jackpot that will complete it on your way to Portal. So,
okay, so that is disc multi-ball. That said, we just have to initiate disc multi-ball. Just has to start.
I'm sorry. Hit the shield enough times to drop it, then go in there 7 times and you start.
Okay, that is our goal, and this is going to be, as opposed to time only, this is ball first, then time. Meaning, if you complete it first on the second ball, but I'm still on my first ball, and I complete it after you, I would end up winning, or vice versa, obviously. Okay? Cool. This is timed. This is, though, timed, so I'm going to switch over to our main view here, and Mr. JediMcMuffin, do you want to count us down for this objective? Oh, I'm sorry. Before you count us down, though, really quick, Marky and Arendelle, Arthur Pendragon, Transmeta, Pinball Profile, and TC Punk, Death Save Dave, Iron Fox also. You guys, welcome to the stream. We'll catch up here after this battle. All right, Jedi, you're up.
Jeez, I forgot how to do it again. All right. We're just gonna do a basic one this time, and I'll be ready on the next one.
Okay.
Well, not like I've had time to prepare or anything. Anyway, 3, 2, 1, plunge.
Fight!
Cool. Good start. Good start. That's how I like to. You know, if you're not going to use the shoot again, what is the point? Oh my God.
Use it or lose it.
There goes ball 5.
Try not to do it both times. Don't use it and lose it.
We're fine. We're all fine here.
We're all fine. See, I gotta recognize your shot for shooting it into the arcade. So, congratulations. I get a freebie.
Nice.
What a terrible convention. What is it with this game?
All right. I am hitting so many shots that I normally struggle with accidentally as I'm just trying to hit the recognizer.
Is there any visual indicator how far you're?
Just the DMD animations on it and your visual countdowns. The other thing is, when it's ready to go, there'll be flashers behind everything. They'll kind of see it when it goes off. When you go in the disc, we'll see the flashers, but then they will constantly go and on the last hit, like one hit to go. I would like it on my left flipper, please. Left flipper, thank you. So you see those flashers in the back.
No. That crawled over to that out lane. All right, I'm on ball 3.
All 3 minutes, George.
I mean, who even tries before ball 3?
Really? Oh, good. Got a gem shot.
I know I got an accidental gem shot earlier.
Oh. So I got 2 more to go.
Which
So
ball are you on right now?
Going off in the back.
Yeah, you're just drilling away at it there, Pez.
Yeah, so that starts it. So I am finished.
You are. Nicely done. All right.
6.2 million in 2 minutes and 6 seconds. See, I am useful.
All right, switching over here. So Challenger won that round. We're back into chat, and you get to see we are now 1 versus 1. Look at that. Yeah, right under. Bumper Nugget says that ramp lighting mod looks like crap. Who put that in anyway? That's interesting because that was extra Paul. Yeah, who put that in for me? That was great. Sir Snarf, welcome to the stream. Sir Snarf, I just ordered 4 Powerballs. Pez, do you have Powerballs?
I do have Powerballs. They're in one of my machines. I know. Sometimes I will put Powerballs in the EM machines just to change things up.
Yeah,
it makes
sure.
it for a very interesting game.
Educate the newbie. What's a Powerball?
Powerball comes from the Twilight Zone. It's a white little ceramic ball. I'll see if I can find it. Hang on.
Yeah, no, this is worth it. And on top of that, we can show it, and it's going to look like a white ball, but it is it's like 1/10 of the weight of a standard pinball. So when you hit it and do things, it flies around the playfield. And Scott Denisi replaced his Tron with all Powerballs. That's it. So it's 4-ball Powerball, and I thought it was going to be silly, but it was both intense and absolutely fun. Let's see.
Yeah,
there you go.
So when Scott Denisi had suggested it to Fliptronic for the pinball show that they went to, and it was all Powerballs where you install 4 of them, it's about, I think we said 20% lighter than the ball, but they put it in Twilight Zone. It doesn't have any magnetic properties to it, so magnets don't affect it at all. So if you have it in a game that has magnets like Twilight Zone, it won't be affected. But it rolls around fast, and it can make the thing a little bit like a different English on the ball. So a lot of fun to play with. I have 5 of them.
You have 5 of them. Okay, I've got 4 coming.
Of them because Bowling Queen, one of that EM comes from that era where all 5 balls are in the trough, and you manually elevate them to the shooter lane. And so you have to put 5 balls in there if you want to play the game with 5 Powerballs.
Okay. Huh. Also, Dalton Pinball, welcome to the stream. Warlock Pinball, welcome as well. Do a tap pass for everybody. I'm curious, are there any other games out there that use a Powerball besides Twilight Zone, naturally?
Yeah, so the LE version of Avatar uses the Powerball, and I think the LE version of Rolling Stones had a Powerball in it as well. And like Captain Spam says, Twilight Zone does detect, it has a proximity sensor on it, so it detects that a magnetic field is not completed in the shooter lane or in the subway, so it can detect when the Powerball is on the field. In the games like Avatar LE does Navi scoring, where it does double scoring while the Powerball is in play, but the Powerball is usually in the trough, unlike Twilight Zone where it's hidden in the gumball machine and you have to like pop it out of there.
Yeah, and you can see it coming, right? As you know when it gets loaded, so you know that it's coming up next. And on top of that, it's great because it announces it, Powerball. It's awesome, yeah. Which is why I love Twilight Zone. That is a game I think I'd like to own at some point. I just need it to be perfect so I never have to work on it. I need it to be completely refurbished, like it's brand new.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that goes wrong on that game.
Yes, there is. I get to hear that from anyone who's owned one, that it requires a lot of maintenance. So, the question for this in-between round actually goes to you, Jedi. Jedi, I think I remember when you started streaming and you had a Jurassic Park. But I'm curious, why did you start streaming? What was the story there? Why go from playing pinball to streaming pinball?
Well, I kind of took it as a personal challenge of sorts because I was watching this guy who was streaming Jurassic Park almost every night of the week, named George. And I was like, well, if that fool can stream, so can I. And then I found out streaming is hard. But yeah, that's generally it. It's just, I can do that. He can do it, I can do it. That was the most of it. And I learned a lot watching you, so that's how I wanted to do it.
Okay, and then in terms of tech, there's some people who get into things and they're like, we're gonna make it work with what we have. We're not gonna get too into it. And then there's some people who kind of go hog wild a little bit and really invest the time and the thought and the investigation into how things work and realizing how you can improve your stream and hit really, let's say, like top quality. Jedi, your streams are ridiculous quality. Where in there do you feel like you are? Are you at the I try to make it work with what we have, or are you at the I've learned and figured stuff out and I'm using I'm using, I guess, better, different technology in order to achieve those high quality streams?
Well, to get a good picture, you need a good camera with a good lens, and there's no way around that. So to get the effect I have on this camera and the one you have going right now, there's no way around that. You need a SLR or a mirrorless camera, which makes you do HDMI, which makes you have a nicer computer, which makes your whole daisy chain of crap you need cost more money. So that's it. I started streaming with a Microsoft Surface Book, which has one
I remember
USB port. Okay, so if you can imagine a hub going to a hub going to multiple HDMI things, it was a mess. But it did work, and I went from that to another laptop, and now I use a desktop PC like a lot of folks do once you get to a certain level. So the more HDMI you have, the more money you tend to spend. So, but then again, my streams are also very simply laid out because I actually don't get too fancy. I'm actually kind of simplistic in my layouts. I just like high quality cameras.
Okay. Well said. Switching then over to objectives, we've done high score, we've done disc multi-ball. Now, Pez, we have to complete 2 modes. I'm gonna flip over to you, and if you don't mind choosing maybe 1 or 2 modes and just talking about how you both start and complete a mode.
Okay, well, if we want to talk about 2 of the modes that just kind of start as you are playing, the Zeus mode is the white targets. They point to the white stand-ups. There are 2 of them here next to the ramps. There's the one right here in front of the pop-up, or the S, and then also the E, probably the most difficult shot, but sometimes you just kind of hit it just by the ball flailing around, especially in multi-ball. If you spell Zeus one time, that just means hitting all 4 of the targets at least once. You will start Zeus, and you'll hear the call-out of him usually saying libations for everybody. And then to complete the mode, you just have to spell Zeus one time. Now it becomes a timed mode. It's also a frenzy mode, so a whole bunch of scoring happens within that mode, but your objective is to spell Zeus by hitting the Z, U, S, and E targets. Again, I'm pointing kind of badly because I'm looking at 2 different screens there. So that's kind of an easy one to complete that you just kind of complete. The other ones you can complete is Clue. It's a pretty easy one to start. You just have to spell Clue on the in lanes. There's a C, there's an L, the U, typical Borg 2 in-lane format there. And once you spell Clue once, during the same ball, by the way, then this Clue helmet will flash at the scoop, trying to point at it right there. And then you go into the scoop to start Clue. To finish Clue, you have to hit the 4 shots that have the helmets on it. The left orbit, the left inner loop, the right orbit, as well as the arcade again. There's also a way to get spotted shots if you spell Clue on any of the in lanes during the time that Clue is running. It'll spot you the leftmost shot. So if you happen to get the left orbit, the left inner loop, and the arcade, and like me, you have a hard time getting that right orbit, you can just spell Clue and finish that mode. And you can understand the progress where you're at. You'll see the Clue helmets go off, but on the second to last shot that you make on it, he will say finish the game. And then you will also get this like echoey Clue if you happen to finish it as well. To find out when you finish modes, if you aren't sure that you're finishing modes on the ladder here in the middle will flash when they are started. They will turn solid when you complete them. Is that good?
That's good. That's perfect. Exactly it. Yeah. Okay, now this is timed once again. It is ball first and then time. So try to do it efficiently, and then it comes down to speed and timing.
Okay.
Mr. JediMcMuffin, would you like to count us down?
Yes, and I'm gonna cheat, and it's gonna be wonderful.
Feel the rhythm. Eat the.
It's cutting out.
Your bling. 3, 2, 1, plunge.
Okay.
Thank you, Manu, and happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday, Manu.
I wanted to make a cutout of Manu's face and hold it in front of my face when I played it. I don't have a color printer.
Well played.
Okay,
It wasn't
so
gonna happen. Yeah.
I think I just completed the mode for Recognizer.
Yes, Recognizer is actually very easy as long as you bring it down. You
Right.
complete it. I'm doing none of that stuff. Well, Zeus just started. Thanks, Zeus.
I need to start Zeus.
We can keep watch on your center inserts, right? And if they're flashing,
you
your
Yeah.
mode engaged, and if you're solid, you've completed a mode.
Exactly.
So I've actually finished Flynn.
Oh man, I don't even know how to do that.
Oh, secrets.
It's like it always happens naturally. I just gotta get to Zeus. Just do Zeus. That is not Zeus. There it is. All right, so we just started Zeus. Now finish it.
Yeah, I'm done.
Ah, nicely done.
Well done.
Wow.
That's ball 3.
Oh, I'm still on ball 2. Okay.
Yeah, keep going, man. So what I did was I completed Flynn and I completed the Recognizer. So.
Yep. Are you kidding me? Oh. I got the Z. Nope, I drained. So you got it. Nicely done, man. Flynn and Recognizer, barely modes. Dr. Curly Tech, there was no, you could do any 2 modes. The next one is 3 though, so that is, I think, gonna require a standard mode.
So here's the weird thing about Flynn, is that Flynn starts when you go down the Zen shot. But it starts making a roving orange arrow. And so and the orange arrow also kind of signifies if you need like a combo or something like that, but you'll see a flashing orange arrow that just kind of moves. And if you hit that, you find Flynn. If you do the skill shots on the ramps, you also complete it too. So
Okay.
it's a secret.
Well played. And heck yeah, that was another good one. Pez is up 2-1 right now. Seraph actually pointed out, was suggesting Zen rollover to right bit for Flynn, I think, or right orbit. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that down there.
Yeah.
And Flynn, yeah. Well, 2 modes completed. TC Punk was calling that out. I'm just going back up here on the chat. T Walrus, welcome to the stream as well. So what? Oh, you know what? I should restart this. We're just sitting here at ball 3, and nice.
There's an old Pez for all the fine folks.
Well,
Old grape.
That is a perfect segue. So Pez, what's up with the Pez? Like that's the next question. The Pez Johnson. We got the Pez logo. What's going on with Pez?
Well, this one's awful, and like I was describing it before, it tastes like grape latex glove. It must be the palm oil that goes bad after 20 years or something like that, but you just don't find that in candy. Well, so high school rolled around in 1990, and about that time I thought maybe I should start collecting something. And I know that kind of seems weird. We got a bunch of friends and I got into like baseball cards, but that was really their thing. I kind of wanted my own thing, and since I was walking to and from Aurora Central High School from my parents' house, on the way back was a King Soopers and a Walgreens. And in case people don't know, our King Soopers are now Kroger grocery stores. So if you need a comparison for that. But the Walgreens had a lot of Pez dispensers, and they were only $1. I could afford $1, and I didn't think really too much that, kind of like competitive pinball, I just didn't know the world of Pez collecting existed. Little did I know when a little thing called the internet came about that Pez collecting is actually kind of a big deal, and a lot of people have been doing it for a very long time. So I kind of accidentally stumbled into that, but I'd buy them, I'd get them as gifts. I would have some that I had from a long time ago, and so now I think the count might be up to 1,000. I know this might discombobulate us a little bit, George, but
1,000 Pez dispensers?
Yes, so somewhere in these boxes that are on these shelves, like these bins that are sitting here underneath the stairs, are different categories of Pez. The second one from the bottom I can see is our Christmas ones, and those are just the ones that aren't on display upstairs. The miscellaneous ones are there, the Peanuts characters, some of the other cartoon characters, and then it just kind of goes that way, and then also this way, and then like the collector sets are on this shelf here. So
Okay, so my immediate follow-up question is what Pez dispensers are the go-to ones that are hard to find that you don't already have, let's say, that you keep your eye open for, right? Like you're scouring whatever the Pez version of Pinside is or something like that.
no feet. No feet is probably the biggest thing, is that here in America in 1987 they made a rule that they would make all Pez dispensers with feet if it followed the form of it. So if they were like other characters or other objects that they would make Pez dispensers for that didn't call for feet, sometimes the Valentine's Day hearts don't have feet and whatnot, but like all the characters had feet, and that was kind of you can kind of tell how old they are, what kind of vintage they are if they don't have feet. So I'm always on the lookout for feetless Pez dispensers. There are serial numbers on the side of them. Actually, I'm sorry, they're not serial numbers, they're actually patent numbers that you can follow. They're also vintage there. And of course, some of the other toys that they came out with in the 50s and 60s that they only made a few of them. There was a bicentennial Pez of Uncle Sam that I saw in an antique store once for $250. That was 25 years ago, and I didn't have $250 then. I don't really have $250 now, but I'd still like to have that Pez dispenser. So, and
One of the
errors as well. There is somewhere in the Santa Claus bin. There's a Santa Claus that doesn't have a face. Like they give him a beard, they give him a hat, but the little faceplate is missing. It's kind of creepy to look at, but I like to call that one of my rare ones. So.
Okay, so you look for rare ones, specifically feetless, and then after that, I'm guessing it's kind of like mistakes in production that somehow made it out. Okay, I feel like I know so much more about Pez Johnson. That's great.
And the only Tron Pez dispensers they made were the Pez and Pop. Apparently, Funko Pop and Pez got together for a series of them, and so those are your Tron themed Pez dispensers.
That's awesome. You have the Tron Pez dispensers. That's great.
Yep.
Okay. Well, speaking of Tron then, and jumping back over, I'm using whatever segue I can pick and choose from the conversation to make it back over then to objectives. We've done high score, disc multi-ball, and complete 2 modes. We are now ready to initiate light cycle multi-ball. And Dave, I'm going back to you. Can you walk us through how one achieves the light cycle multi-ball?
By mistake, really. Actually, no, on purpose. So there's 6 major shots on Tron. It's the left orbit, it's the left ramp, it's the left inner loop, it's the right inner loop, which is just above or further back than the ramp, then also the side ramp and the right orbit. Those are your 6 shots. They all have light cycle signs, signals, emblems, pictures in front of them. Of the 6 of them, you only have to get 4 of them on the first go around to qualify light cycle multi-ball. Now, this is just qualifying, right? This isn't completing, right?
Yeah, qualify and start. So you have to hit the scoop, right?
To start as well. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
So once you hit the 4 shots, the rest of the shots will actually go out if you still had shots left to go. And then the light cycle yellow arrow, which I'm not really pointing at it right there, it's the second one down going into the arcade. That one will start flashing at you. You just need to go into the arcade, and that'll start a 2-ball multi-ball.
Okay, perfect. That seems pretty straightforward. Hopefully I remember that. Switching back over here then, this is another ball first and then time will be the priority on this. And we're gonna see that that's gonna be pretty consistent the entire time. But it is time. Oh man, Ram Gang, thank you very much for that tier 1 subscription. My hat's off to you.
Ooh, a raid as well.
What?
You must
I can hear it. You guys can't hear it. Can you guys hear it?
I hear Google Godfrey, yes.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. It wasn't visually displaying anywhere.
There it is.
Are the alerts turned off? No, they're there.
Yeah, we heard him.
Yeah, we heard them. They were in the lower part.
Oh,
I saw
okay.
'em. Pinball Wiz rated us with a party of 7.
Pinball Wiz, you're amazing. Thank you so much. And if you're just joining us, we're playing an Iron Pinball Battle this evening on Tron. It is me, Don't Panic Flip, versus Pez Johnson. And right now, Pez is destroying me. He's up 2-1, but we are, it's bottom left of the screen. I was looking at the bottom right. Makes total sense. And we are now on the objective of starting Light Cycle, and Jedi is about to count us down. Jedi, you want to take this away?
I'll do this one myself this time.
Okay.
Feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme, get on up, it's pinball time. 3, 2, 1, plunge.
Okay.
How'd I do, everyone?
That was great.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I hope Manu's still watching. Hopefully I redeem myself.
It's so funny. I'm willing to bet that Manu hates that line.
He probably does. Do you think he rage quit the stream because of it?
Maybe. It wouldn't surprise me.
All right, I'm in.
Okay. That's that. I'm already on ball 2. Was just really struggling to get things going. But yes,
Yeah.
Light Cycle multi-ball achieved by Pez Johnson. That's another win. And I gotta hit that button over there. We switch back over.
Completed it as well.
Nice.
Now it's solid.
Pez, put that can of, I can't say that, but put the can of kick butt back on the shelf. And Higher Peanut, good evening and welcome to the stream. Yeah, well-deserved beverage there. That was another quick one. I think we have some longer ones coming up here soon. Oh, nice. I completely spoke over that.
Libations!
It's another one of those Discord keeps detecting that it's not you talking, so it cuts it out a little bit. Death Save Dave. I live on girly drinks, so you say whatever you want. I drink apple ciders and gin and tonics and mojitos, basically mixed drinks right now.
Yeah, I've never been a really big fan of actual like beer alcohol.
Cheers to that.
But yeah, when you start throwing it in like this, it could get dangerous. It's a girly drink.
Yeah. And Meta Nightman calling out that Pez, you're pretty dang good at Tron. I've watched quite a few streams.
3-1's a big lead there, George. How are you going to come back from this?
Very carefully.
Yeah, very carefully. Well, you know what? The first run I feel like was a lot of quick objectives. But we're coming up on some of the harder ones. I think that reward slow, specific gameplay, which I don't actually know your style at all, Dave, if you're like a flow player or more of a...
I am totally a flow player.
You are? Okay.
Yeah, I am very, very rarely do I sit and hold unless I mean, I will switch it up. When we did Dory Hill and it was a pin golf type of format and stuff like that, and there was specific achievements, kind of like what we're doing tonight, I may switch it up and do more of a control player. But when it just comes to playing, flailing, wail away.
And while I'm in here, I want to take a second to do shout outs for both people on the stream right now. We've got JediMcMuffin, who is a streamer on TPN. If you're not following Jedi, you absolutely should be. Jedi's high quality streams, awesome audience engagement, super fun, great collection of pinball machines. So click the link, give him a follow. And then also obviously Pez Johnson, who streams on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. and is also up late. I feel like, Pez, you've rated me a couple of times, at least, maybe, yeah, bordering on 40 or 50 at this point, I'm imagining, over the past couple of years. And
is sharing the Colorado love, George.
Yeah, it's well, the Colorado love is. I have a question actually specifically about the Colorado love for our next break. And but if you're not following Pez Johnson, click that link, give him a follow. You will not regret it. Pez is awesome, and Pez and your wife often, I feel like, comes on. Great chat. It's super engaging across the board. So yeah, please give both Jedi and Pez Johnson a follow if you haven't already.
Thank you, George. I appreciate that.
Oh my gosh. Anytime. Frisco, welcome to the stream. We'll see. Oh no, we haven't made it over to the right, but it's Quora multi-ball. If there's anything, I feel like I have an opportunity if I can hit the Quora shot. It might be this. So Quora multi-ball, you just have to start it. Pez, can you walk us through how one starts Quora multi-ball?
Well, it's nice enough for them to put a nice little insert right here that is this big green round circle that goes towards this left inner loop just to the side of the recognizer. It's the spinner here that has Quora's face on it, but the big green circle actually says Advanced Quora, and if you hit that 5 times, hang on, I'm gonna find out because I always kind of forget. So Quora multi-ball 5 times through the loop to qualify it, and again, like light cycles, it lights up the green arrow, the third one down to the arcade. You shoot it in the arcade, and you start off with the 2-ball multi-ball. You have an opportunity to add 2 more balls by hitting the recognizer 3 times. But if we're just going for starting it, that spinner 5 times, and the scoop for starting it. And what's interesting, George, is that there's no sensor back there in that left orbit. It's just the spinner. But the spinner is raised just a little bit. And because the ball needs to really kind of rip the spinner for it to actually spin, that's what actually qualifies. So that's why sometimes if you get it up there, but it doesn't actually register, it's because the spinner didn't spin hard enough to hit the switch.
Okay.
I thought for sure there was like an opto in the back wall, and there's none.
Okay. It's just the spinner. I didn't know that. I actually thought it was counting down the number of spins. I didn't realize it was basically, did you hit the shot?
1 spin.
I feel like that's like a missed opportunity there. If you had it had to be 60 spins. Kind of, I'm thinking about Deadpool's, what's that mode, Jedi, on the left orbit?
Yeah, the disco multi-ball.
Yeah, something like that. I feel like would have been a little bit more fun, especially even in the DMD, to be able to see the number of countdowns. But shoot, I don't know what the software looked like at that point, so maybe that was difficult to do. But
let me email Ronnie and see if he's got time to recode for us.
Well, this was Ronnie who I think did it, and we discovered last night that it was Ronnie who set up the initial rules, but Lyman came in and finished it. Is that yeah, kind of interesting. Well, this is another one where it is ball then time, but time is important, so we're going to need another countdown. Jedi, do you want to count us down? Oh wait, don't yet. I'm not ready.
Yep.
Now I'm ready.
Sit up there. All right, we'll keep this one simple. 3, 2, 1, plunge. Both short plunged. Right into the drain. Was that on purpose?
Yeah, I really shorted plunge on that one. I didn't mean to. So I usually short plunge to the Zen shot anyway, to try to get it to my flippers right away. But it skipped over the in lanes and went right to the drain. That's not what I wanted to do.
Is this a backhandable shot?
It can be, but it's not very easily made backhandable. I've also made it via the upper flipper.
Yeah, I've banked it before off that upper flipper.
Yeah, you can kind of bank it off of this stand-up post next to the bumper and get it in there, but it's almost too tight of a shot to do it right off the left flipper.
All right, Pez is still on ball 1. George is on to ball 2.
Well, I qualified light cycle.
Nice. That'll be helpful in a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to start it because in the chaos, I might
be able to do it.
Maybe.
You have that shot pretty dialed in, George.
It's. We'll see if I can get there.
The other day. Watching him the other day, he really seemed like he was
That's
just
3.
Yes.
I think.
Just a little premature there. Oh my God! Do not start disc multi-ball.
Start it, George.
No, no, no,
See
no.
what happens. No, see what happens. Oh.
All right, so I need one more. Oh no. Should have just moved the whole table. That was ball 2.
No, yeah, I just got done through ball 2 as well.
Really?
Oh. Well, I got cheated on that light cycle. That's just funny.
You went through there twice there, Pez, but the spinner was still moving, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Again, that's why that spinner moving is kind of the difficulty of it.
I love it. Yeah, Pez, by the way, I just drained, so you just have to do it. You take your time. Oh my gosh.
You gotta be kidding me. Come on, game.
There you
There's
go.
another qualified. Well, I already have it lit. Problem is, I don't have it. We didn't get it, George. So let's keep on going.
So let's keep going. Another game. We're going to get there.
Ball 4.
Ball 4. Solid start. I like where the game's head is at right now. Oh my God.
I don't think either of you have hit it yet.
I just hit it. All right, trap. There. Nope, that did not work. I thought if I told the pinball machine what to do, it might be helpful. Apparently it was not. There's 2.
Oh. No, I
I'll
didn't
take
want
that.
to do it. You could have given me a forward shot.
Take that. All right. I'll take that. I think I need 2 more shots, maybe. There's 1.
I think Pez is right there next to you.
Not that close.
Ah. George is still on ball 1.
I'm now on ball 3.
All right, last shot on Cora. I got this. Yes. Qualified and got it. Whew.
Good job.
Well done, sir.
I will take that one because, man, on ball 4 too. This is a game I would never put quarters in. Only play this at free play. Death save. I'm kind of in the same boat actually. And Iron Fox throwing down the rave that should be on. Emily Osan, welcome to the stream and thank you. Switch back over here. And we should see that little animation right there. Switch it up to 2 to 3. And Seraph points out, only play this with the volume up. Jedi is very interested in owning this game, mind you. But Jedi, one of the coolest things. Wait, have you had an opportunity to play this game yet?
I have played it. I played it at the Pinball Hall of Fame in Vegas.
Okay. One of the coolest parts of this game then is the fact that the music is Daft Punk. And if you haven't played it before, man, this game with a sub and the music turned up is absolutely fantastic. And there's all kinds of mods. You guys can see it. I'm assuming, I think I saw quite a few mods on yours as well, Pez. Do you have? No. Okay, I'm sorry.
No,
well, wait a second.
Mainly because this isn't my game. This is a temporary trade for Batman 66. Batman 66 is
right.
the Colorado Pinball Pub right now. This is a game that Dan bought, and it has been stock all of its life.
Wow. Well, it looks amazing. And how does your game? How does the game that you have from Pinball Pub play?
I think it does great. Something that I kind of pride myself on when I borrow games or I pin sit games is I always try to make sure that they're fixed and working 110% of the time. One of the big problems that we had with this game when I brought it home was that the disc would give you false hits because the opto was a little bent out of the way.
So like misaligned?
Yeah, misaligned. So when it was the vibration of the disc, when it would spin, it would rattle the metal that the optos are on just enough to like misalign them. And it took me forever. I took them out. I resoldered the boards. I resoldered the actual optos. I was almost going to buy new optos. Then I found out that you can't see it because they're not on my screen, but the right one, the right opto you can get to pretty easily. The left one you can't. It's kind of, with the way that the core is shot is right next to the recognizer. What I actually did was I bent the metal a little bit so that the holes for the optos were actually aligned, and that fixed the problem.
Yep.
So I did that, cleaned it. Of course, the only way to clean the back ramp is by taking all the ramps off, which is awful.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You know, again, just like Twilight Zone, just like Indiana Jones, which is the game that I had before Tron from the pub. Indiana Jones is my favorite pinball machine, the Pinball Adventure from Williams.
Which, do you still have, or was that a temp trade?
That was a temp trade. When I brought that one back to the pub, I asked for this one.
Okay.
And so then I brought this one home rather than Batman 66. So that's been going on for a year, by the way. But Indiana Jones, I took everything apart to that one to clean and replace all the rubbers, and getting the Path of Adventure off of it, awful. It makes me not want to own the game. Jedi, you may not want to own this game because it's a pain in the butt to maintain. But
yeah, this one doesn't break down all that well, or all that often, though. Also, a couple different things. First of all, Mr. Hardluck just redeemed a Don't Panic Brick shirt. Redeemed the, redeemed an MPT3K shirt tonight as well. So now you got DPF and MPT3K. Mr. Hardluck, if you're not already on the Discord, go ahead and whisper me here, just reminding me or letting me know that you redeemed a shirt. Or if you're on the Discord, hit me up there. I have a link that I'll send you and a code, and it's all set up to where if you click the link, add it to your cart and purchase it using the code, it's at no cost to you, and the shipping is all, you basically handle the shipping on that. So yeah, congratulations.
Give, Mr. Hardluck a code, George. Oh, Whisper. I'm sorry, wrong Whisper. Sorry.
Oh, got it. Yes. And Try to Tilt, welcome to the stream. Now, Oz Eric, you're asking about the arcade machine over the scoop. I do want to take a second because this is really fun. I feel like in this game because there's so many mods, right? And
one of the reasons why I think Tron gets so desirable is because of all these mods that have come about since its release.
Yes. It's ridiculous. And what we have here is, yeah, so there's an active Tron arcade machine right here over the scoop. It's like a fully functioning arcade game. And then just to the right of that, it's kind of hard to see, but there's a Flynn's sign over here. This has replaced color specific plastics that go around the game. It also has the ramp lights that integrate with what's happening currently in the game, so it's not just lit up, but the colors change on those, which were installed by Extra Paul, aka Bumper Nugget. Thank you so much. You've got the metallic pop caps up here, and then also in the back, once again, kind of hard to see, but this has lit up much larger light cycles in the back. And then the recognizer itself has a light inside of it right here. You can see that orange light. So yeah, that is just part, I feel like, of all of the mods. And then what you can't see here is this also has I think they call it a lenticular translate, which means as you look at it from different angles, it looks 3D. And it has custom lighting, and it has a cool topper, and I'm trying to think, is there anything else? There's so many things you can put into this game. It's insane, all of the mods that could potentially be installed in this.
Yeah, this one has the lenticular translate.
That translates so cool. And the custom lighting kit, by the way, on that, so there's a beam going up the center, and it's that moment at the, I mean, it's got to be 20 years old at this point, so we're not spoiling anything, but at the end of the movie, there's a moment with a beam as Olivia Wilde and Sam Flynn are leaving, and they have their hands up, and there's a custom lighting kit in here which makes it look like the beam is moving constantly. That looks really, really cool on that.
I call that the portal. And the movie only came out 11 and 1 month ago. 11 years and 1 month ago.
Was it really that recently? Okay.
Really,
Portal.
really.
Yeah,
Okay.
December 2010 is when it came out.
Okay, so what do we have next? This is the one I'm most excited about. So we just did Core Multi-Ball. This one is Sea of Simulation. You have to get to Sea of Simulation. Now, we have been very particular about you have to get to Sea of Simulation, or whatever the objective is, and it's ball first, then timing. All of that goes out the window. If it doesn't matter, it's just the first person to get to it. The only thing you can't do is like take the glass off and cheat, but whatever. Pretty much after that, you just get to Sea of Simulation. This is going to take a bit, and it may take a few games. Do we want to cap it, though? I think we're at 11 after 11. We still have 4 more modes after this. Do we want to say cap it at 3 games, or do you feel like maybe we just go until we get it?
I'm good with go until we get it.
Go until we get it.
But I mean, if Jedi, if you want to keep a track of the time, and if we hit like 11:30 or something like that, and we're just keep on going, just kill it.
That's actually a good way to do it. 18 minutes you have.
Okay. And
Do we want to go over how we do it?
Yes, please. So I'm going to focus here on you, and if you want to walk us through how one gets to Sea of Simulation.
All right, so the overall objective to Tron is to get to Portal, but you have to finish all the modes to get to Portal. But if you start all the modes, and like we said before, this ladder here represents the modes, and when they start flashing is when you have started the modes. So it's Flynn, Gem, Clue, Zeus, Korra, Disc, Light Cycles, Recognizer, and Tron. As long as you have started those modes, then you have an opportunity to shoot into the arcade. Focus. You get into the arcade and you start Sea of Simulation. There's actually nothing on the playfield that says that Sea of Simulation is available. I don't even know if the DMD does it. I just know that it's available. Usually it's the flasher that is inside the arcade. And I don't know if yours, George, if you've got the actual screen that's showing the arcade, how you would be notified that Sea of Simulation would be ready, because the little light that's behind this stock arcade plastic toy here flashes, and that lets me know that Sea of Simulation is ready to go.
Okay. I have no idea. I just basically look at the playfield and be like, oh, Sea of Simulation must be on the scoop because I've got lights on all of these modes in the middle.
As long as you see all of these blinking or solid, you're good to go. And really, you don't have to complete the modes. You just need to at least have started the modes. Probably the hardest one to do is probably Gem on purpose.
Right. Okay. That sounds good. And this one is timed, and it's just time. We don't care about anything else. So if you feel like you're having a crappy game, restart and do it all over again.
Whoever finishes first.
Yeah. Jedi, you want to count us down?
Yep. All right, you have 16 minutes, gentlemen. Feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme. Plunge on up, it's pinball time. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, I plunged this second early.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right, the short plunging, I actually started Flynn, and I finished Flynn by shooting the right orbit. So
And the short plunge is a skill shot as well, right?
well, the short plunge into the arcade is a skill shot. The short plunge into the Zen is not, but you do have an opportunity to go up the left ramp for that skill shot. But just going down the short plunge,
George.
Oh no!
What's that?
There was a rough drain there, George.
Oh, that was so mean. There we go. It light cycle.
Technically, Recognizer is finished because Recognizer has dropped.
Now, are either of you going to start a multi-ball to give you some protection here?
Yes.
I am going to go for disc while making progress for other things. Like my light cycles is lit, but I may or may not start it. I don't know.
Okay.
Completing one of the Tron sets starts your or qualifies your Tron mode. So again, that one's another one of those things that happens by accident, like Flynn, because you almost always run into the Tron targets eventually.
May have moved the game just a hair.
Just there.
Nah. All right, you got light cycle or disc multi-ball going?
I have disc multi-ball going. I could technically, if I wanted to try to get the achievement, drain out of it and move on. I'm not saying that I drained out of it on purpose, but it's not that it was a bad strategy.
Right. Okay, so
It's
I
a
need one
bold
more.
strategy, Cotton.
Let's see if it,
We'll
pays
see
off
if it
then.
works. we were all right on top of that. Oh no.
Light cycle and clue will start at the same time.
Okay, so I got Gem, Clue, Flynn, Light Cycle, Recognizer, and Tron. I just need Quora, Zeus, and Disc.
You got gems started?
Yep, I hit it 3 times in a row.
Wow. I'm confused, sir. Then I'm kind of using light cycles to qualify Quora. Well, I got gems started too.
Oh my gosh. All right,
Oh, nuts.
that is game. Starting up again.
All right, George is on game 2. Says you're still on ball 3.
Yeah, this is ball 3 of game 1. I need to qualify Quora.
So
I'm not qualifying Quora. One more for Quora. But there was more done for Quora.
okay. Probably-
Captain Zanzibar says, I love the drains, give me more.
Thank you, nerd.
Captain Zanzibar, how you doing? Captain Zanzibar is going to be in Colorado soon. I'm very
yeah?
excited. Yeah.
Higher Peanut says, I saw Laserlos doing CF simulation speedruns. He was doing plunges on all the multi-ball shots to hit the gems.
Yep.
That's it. There it is.
He's got it.
You got, oh, nicely done. Nicely done, man.
Well done.
I would like to say I feel bad for not completing any of the ladder.
I was going to say something about your arcade light flashing, and I was like, I don't want to haze him or
No.
anything.
Well freaking played. Dang. King of Tron is absolutely right. Well said, Metadaiben. Whew, this is going to be hard to catch up on here. 2
Yeah,
to
so
4.
normally I don't play it like this. Usually what I'll do is I'm always playing for Portal, so I'm always trying to get the thing. So when I started Quora, after I finished it, then I'm like, oh, I have to drain out of Quora in order to get into C simulation faster. And it was just like, I don't know if I want to do that. But
Okay, so the next question I got for you, Pez, is You're pretty big in the Colorado pinball community. In fact, that's how I originally met you, and you were helping specifically Colorado Pinball. So Snow and Paul, I had seen you streaming on their channel a bunch, and then ran into you at a number of different events, either in Denver or all around Colorado. Is that just in general kind of how you, because of you getting into pinball that happened? How exactly did you get in so well, I guess, versed in the community around Colorado?
Okay, so the Rocky Mountain Pinball Showdown and Game Room Expo, which is the annual event that Dan Nikolic and his family put on every year, and I guess this was their 14th time doing it because we had to skip last year. I didn't realize Dan, who is also the owner of the Colorado Pinball Pub, he had games on location at the Arapahoe Bowling Center, which is actually really close to me in work. It's like in between, so I could go there during lunchtime. And I accidentally ran into Dan, and Dan was just like, well, if you're interested in pinball, why don't you come to one of our pinball leagues? So I started getting into again, this was 2018, and I kind of started falling into the pinball scene at that point. I had no idea that competitive pinball was a thing, and like we talked about before, I had enjoyed playing pinball. I enjoyed going to places. The bowling alley had that nice room of games that was there. The 3-Up was just opening, or the 1-Up Greenwood Village, as we are supposed to call it, but we affectionately like to call it the 3-Up. That one was just opening, and there just happened to be a lot of pinball going around, and so I was just starting to hit a lot of the things. And then I accidentally fell into watching pinball streamers, starting with probably Jack Danger with Deadflip.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was just in your face like every evening as I was wrapping up work, and then that kind of fell into watching Colorado Pinball Collective, watching Don't Panic Flip, watching Pinsomniac, watching just other people. And so I just kind of got involved with that, and then anytime that I would find myself at an event and I would recognize these people, I try to introduce myself. So then I befriended a lot of people, and I think I try to be a very friendly and helpful guy anytime I get to. So when somebody said, hey, would you mind helping us out with this stream, or would you like to help us out with this tournament? I said, yeah, sure. Just show me how it's done, and I'll do my best to try to help you out as best I can. So
yeah, and that's really a really good point too, is I've seen you actually help out at a bunch of tournaments. So specifically the camping one that we just did, you and Snow, and I'm trying, who's the guy who actually runs that camping tournament? Russell, right? Yeah. So all three of you guys back behind the desk, or dealing with issues when they happen, when someone's got that hand up waiting for a tournament director.
Well, what was kind of funny is that Snow kind of just asked me to do it. And of course, I usually say yes without question. But that first night that we were there, and George, you hadn't gotten there just yet. Mm-hmm. But we had scheduled a stall ball tournament that was, everybody pays $1 to play in the stall ball tournament. And Snow and Russell were trying to get away from the desk for a while to get to all of the games that were all around the campsites, and they wanted to find out whatever objectives they hadn't decided on objectives for all of the games in the campground. And so she just saw me walking into the pavilion. She's like, I need you right now, you're running stall ball. And I was like, absolutely, let me go ahead and do it for you. So that I gave them an opportunity to get away from behind the desk. I really enjoy helping out. It's kind of one of those things. I could participate in tournaments and come in 12th all the time, or I can help out in the tournament and hopefully everybody has a good time. So that's what I like to happen.
Okay, hell yeah. Well, you're not coming in 12th now. Let's see what that next objective is. I'm so bad about the segues. I just want to throw it out there. I saw The Fifth Element when I was a kid way too many times, and The Fifth Element, MPT3K could tell you the kind of editing that's actually used in The Fifth Element, where somebody says something about like sandwich, and then it cuts to a scene where somebody is taking a bite of a sandwich. It's like, it's thematic, or I don't know what that style of editing is, but I try to do that in like everyday life. So I apologize if it's like dad level pun style of.
Okay, let's take a step back, George. Let's take a step back. So I'll say, so I could either play in tournaments and come in 12th all the time, or I could help out in tournaments, and hopefully everybody can achieve what they're trying to do in the tournament.
Speaking of achievements, our next objective happens to be starting Light Cycle and Quora Multi-Ball at the same time. Dave, thank you so much for that wonderful layup. Dave, are you trying to say that rocked, perhaps, Jedi?
Of course it did.
Okay, also, Pinball Wiz, Lilu Dallas multi-pass. She knows it's a multi-pass. Yes, my God. Dave, can you walk us through, actually, we've already done Light Cycle and Quora Multi-Ball. Is there anything unique about trying to bring those in simultaneously?
No, there's not. The Quora and Light Cycles is the only two multi-balls that you can bring in together at the same time, and you can actually stack them while one of them is running. And that's what I tried to do while we were trying to get the Quora multi-ball, is I started Light Cycle to try to get more Quora shots. All you really have to do is, for the first time around, it gets harder every time that you try to start the multi-balls, is that you get the 4 Light Cycle shots and light cycles here. You can either start it at that time, or you can hang on to it and hit Quora 5 times. As long as you do that combination, both of these yellow and green lights will light into the arcade. And as long as you shoot them in, if they're both lit, you start them both at the same time. It starts a 3-ball multi-ball. Or if you're in Light Cycles and qualify Quora, then the Quora light will light. You can shoot it into the arcade then. Vice versa, if you have Quora multi-ball going, and then you shoot the Light Cycles while you're in Quora multi-ball, you can qualify Light Cycles. You just need to get it in the arcade sometime while Quora or Light Cycles is running. There is a very graceful grace period that you can qualify those too. I think you'll qualify Light Cycles sooner because it only takes 4 shots to get there. Quora, you have to hit one specific shot 5 times to do it. So there's a chance that you might start Light Cycles and then get Quora qualified. But if you start Quora first, there's an opportunity to add balls to it.
Right.
So it might be easier to start Quora and then get Light Cycles. But either way, we'll get it done.
Okay.
I think.
Let's get her done. This is a one that's going to be, we're going back to ball first, then time. So JediMcMuffin, I've got a ball started, and it looks like Pez is also set. Do you want to count us down?
Okay, simple this time. 3, 2, 1, plunge.
Fight!
Give me that back. Thank you.
The wonderful pinball begging news. Give me that back, please.
Yeah, please give me that back. Please, pretty please. All right, we're going to try this left ramp here. Nope.
What is the at-ball shot for Light Cycle or Quora?
Light Cycle does not have an add-a-ball shot, but the Quora does, and it's 3 hits to the recognizer for up to 2 add-a-balls. After the second add-a-ball, the recognizer will actually go down and the disc will be open at that point. That way you know you've done both add-a-balls at that time. If you start Light Cycle and then Quora, it'll actually launch another ball into the playfield, so you'll get a 3rd ball from Light Cycle. So I guess technically an add-a-ball for Light Cycle would be to start Quora.
Oh my God, one more shot. To just start a mode, one of the multi-balls. Gimme.
There you go.
There we go.
Evil Peaches,
Evil Peaches.
rating with a party of 4.
Oh my god, he just drained. Oh my god, I just drained out of the light cycle.
Oh no.
Ooh.
There it is.
Okay, I just have to hit 6 shots to start light cycles now.
George just started light cycle.
Drain out of it, George. It'll help.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Shooting that left orbit like a champ.
Ah, no. All right, so now we're doing Quora.
Dude.
Left ramp. We're gonna try left orbit. Totally got there. I think I just need one more shot to get back into light cycle. No, 2 more.
I can't believe you
Evil Peaches, by the way, thank you so much for rating us.
He's subscribed as well.
Thank you. The hat's off.
I'm gonna start ball number 4.
What was that?
I'm gonna start ball number 4.
Okay. So I just started Quora, and I think I need maybe 1 or 2 shots on that.
Are you also on ball 4, George?
No, I'm on ball 2 or 1.
He's on 1. I'm now on ball 5. Stupid Tron.
You've got Quora going.
Hey there, pinball fanatics.
All right.
It's your old pal, K.
Right orbit.
Here. We're all a bunch of nuts.
John Durbin subscribed to Tier 1.
John! Ooh, I'll take that.
Learn a skill. Get a trade. I know there's a pandemic.
It's gonna hurt.
Pinball? Jeez, you could be playing pinball. You're sitting there watching someone else pinball. You're like the sad guy at the bar who didn't bring any friggin' quarters. Hope you have a great day. Cheers. Thanks so much for watching.
I guess I'll
You just got to get back in a light cycle here, right, George?
Yes. All right, 1 shot to get back into light cycle.
At that right orbit.
Yep, right orbit. Beautiful. This is the shot.
Moment of truth.
Nope. This is the shot. Thank you. All right, we got this. Right orbit. And
We have a high frame.
light cycle and Quora did it.
It's
I have no
done.
idea what ball I'm on.
I couldn't even get it on ball 6.
You're on ball 2.
Is it ball 2?
Yeah, I got ball 6.
Okay. Whew. I'll take that. Oh my gosh, we're on a hype train. Captain Zanzibar, thank you so much for the bits. Flipstream, thank you for the bits. Flipstream, welcome to the stream. I'm gonna let that drain out. It was ball 2 or ball 1? I think it was ball 2. It had to be ball 2. Okay, cool. And excellent game, thank you. And keeping it close. How did you get a rush already? Pinsomniac, what? Who got a rush? Oh, that was a joke. Because Tron and Rush. Pinsomniac, welcome. Oh man, I'm so happy that I was able to keep the score a little bit close because 5 is going to be pretty tough to come back from there. He's joking. Yeah, Meta Nightman. No jokes go over my head. My reflexes are too fast. I would always catch it. But if that wasn't the case, no, everything goes over my head. I don't really realize in general that jokes are happening. John Durbin, thank you not only for that tier 1 sub, but also for 100 bits. That is appreciated. Thank you. And if you just joined us from the raid, tonight It is a Iron Pinball Battle. It is me versus Pez Johnson. Pez Johnson here in the middle, and commentating up at the top, that is JediMcMuffin. And the next question in between rounds here is exactly what we were just talking about. Guys, Rush was not only announced last week, but we got to see the game today. Jedi, what are your thoughts? And then I'll ask Dave.
Looks like a lot of fun. I don't have a lot of experience listening to that band, so the theme is kind of lost on me to some degree. I'm going to try and get familiar with it. I do want to play it after seeing like the sizzle clips and things like that, but my last John board game made me want to smash the glass. That was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So yeah, I will not be ordering it until I play it for sure.
Okay, got it. And Pez, what are your thoughts?
Well, the shots look good, and it seems like it's got a lot of flow. Thanks a lot, George. No, I don't know. I did like the sizzle reel, the Lord of the Ring mech there, the time machine thing going in the middle. That seems like, you know, something that we haven't seen since, well, Lord of the Rings. And some of the ramps on the two sides. I mean, they look like they're it seems typical now of these games that they've got like very steep ramps, but they're satisfying ramps, like the middle Black Widow ramp for Avengers, or God forbid the stupid Captain Marvel turnaround thing. I hate that. I think the Pro is better for that reason on Avengers, but besides that, I mean, there's a lot of those games that seem to have these steep ramps that are actually very far away. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Being the radio guy that I am, and having exposure to not as much Rush as possible, because I'm not really into classic rock side of radio things.
Okay.
I still dig a lot of Rush songs. I couldn't name their catalog besides Tom Sawyer, Spirit of the Radio, and 2112, the entire album. But that's about it. I mean, I
literally all the songs I know.
I think it'll appeal to a couple of different audience members. So I think it'll, I think it'll do well.
Okay.
And hopefully it's a lot of fun to play. That's always what trumps everything. I really enjoy Iron Maiden, even though I don't really have interest in Iron Maiden the band.
Right.
I think it's a lot of fun to play. Jurassic Park, on the other hand.
What? What's your? I'm sorry. What were you about to say about Jurassic Park?
Jurassic Park and I don't get along. So if I had it in a home environment like Tron and everything like that, I could probably learn to love it. But I don't. So I know.
Birtle. Oh my gosh.
It's not
blasphemy.
a popular opinion, but it's an opinion, I guess.
Okay. Couple different things then. I feel like Rush is very similar to Tron, which is also very similar to X-Men, and I think that's great company. I really enjoy X-Men, and I have enjoyed X-Men for a while. I owned an LE. I think the LE is gorgeous, but the Pro plays a little bit better. That said, the coolest multi-ball intro ever is Magneto multi-ball in the LE of X-Men. It's just a fun game. And Shaolin Bum, thank you so much for that follow. That's appreciated. On top of that, I like Rush. I'm not into Rush. Like I haven't been to a concert. I have a couple of records and I like it, and I listen to it because my stepdad, who was a musician, loved Rush, so I heard it a bunch growing up, but never really got into it. But at the same time, I'm just excited because it's a band I know and I don't dislike it, right? Like Iron Maiden, I had to turn the music off every time. And Metallica I was never into, but that was an interesting one in that it got me into Metallica playing that game. And now I can listen to Metallica without disliking it thoroughly. AC/DC, I could take it or leave it. A lot of the dad rock style bands. And so I'm excited about this one. I like it. I do think the pacing is going to be great for pinball. Very similar, I think, in terms of it's just the drums are great. The music is high speed, so I think it's going to play really well. And then on top of all of that, for whatever reason, when I heard Rush was coming out, I'm like, oh my God, a music pin I'm actually interested in. It's not Beastie Boys, which would have been like, yeah, just here, take my money. But I got on the list with Flipping Out Pinball. And then Zach hit me up today and he's like, so you got in early enough. You mentioned interest potentially in the LE. I have an LE for you if you want it. So even though I spoke, I feel like on the Discord servers vehemently about the Pro being perfect, I'm gonna end up getting an LE now for it. So I'm a little bit more excited now, moving forward. Yeah, Sabotage Multi-Ball MPT3K would have been.
Yeah, a Beastie Boys pin would be awesome, but no, I think it'll be good. And again, I think fun over theme most of the time. I'm a big fan of the Jersey Jack Guns N' Roses as well, because I was actually a Guns N' Roses fan. I was a Metallica fan too. And
okay.
So, again, theme appeals to me, but hopefully it's a lot of fun, and I'm sure it will. I think you'll be very happy with your purchase, George. The thing that really enticed me about it was the behind-the-scenes look at the band members recording their lines.
I actually really like that too, and seeing Bare Naked Ladies. I can't think of his name. Yeah, Ed Robertson as a part of that entire process. It's just it's exciting.
Very exciting.
Yeah. Okay, and speaking of exciting, our next objective is to start. Thank you. Our next objective is to start Gem. Now we've done this both, I think, several times here. But Dave, can you walk us through how someone will start Gem Multi-Ball?
Gem shot is the inner right loop. It is the side ramp. It's just to the north or the left of the side ramp. It's a shot that actually goes behind the ramp and returns to your pop bumpers. You have to hit that 3 times in order to start it, and if you want to finish it, you just have to hit it 1 time while the mode is going, and it's a timed mode. It also happens to be your bonus multiplier, so if you happen to shoot that a whole bunch of times, you'll get a lot of bonus multipliers. There is a tricky way of getting the gem shot. Do you know how to do that, George?
Are you talking about the plunge to get gem?
Yeah, absolutely. It is the Addams Family type of shot, that it comes off of the ramp into the right orbit, but it just falls off the ramp just with enough momentum to hit the switch for the gem shot. The gem shot, you have to get it around the corner and over that switch for it to actually count. But occasionally on my game, the auto plunger will accidentally auto plunge into the gem shot.
What? Okay.
I think I might need to adjust a coil sleeve. It doesn't happen very often, and sometimes it happens when too much kinetic motion actually hits, like a ball coming around the left orbit will ram into a right orbit shot, and the only way it can get out of the way is to hit the gem shot too. So
okay.
If it happens, it's completely by accident. But you can plunge the gem shot. It's not necessarily a skill shot. You get no bonus points for plunging into the gem. You just get one of your gem shots to make gem progress.
Got it. Okay, and also
it's just is it start or complete?
It's just start. You do not have to complete gem. Starting it, I think, is going to be difficult enough. We will do the ball and then time again on this one. Also, Dice wants to know about your magic trick with glass and pinball machines. That hasn't happened yet tonight, has it?
No. No, and hopefully it will never happen again. Recently at the bowling alley, I had to actually clean the glass out of Bram Stoker's Dracula because an accident had occurred at the bowling alley, not while I was there, and not by my fault. And we think that maybe a worker had accidentally dropped something onto the game while they were transporting something through a back door that happened to be close to the pinball machines. And having broken glass in front of Bowling Queen here and having it shatter across the floor, or having it shattered in the game, I will take floor any day of the week.
Oh yes. Yeah, glass in a game is bad news bears.
Bad news.
Yeah.
Cleaning it is difficult enough, so.
Whittle Scooter and the soft-boiled egg. Do you like your Ultraman? And that is back there. I am actually trying to get rid of my Ultraman. I think the playfield layout is fun. I think there is a lot of potential there for that to be a great game. I also know that they don't have a lot of veteran coders, and it might be another year or so before that game is ready for prime time, or even anything close to what at least Rick and Morty was at. So
That's kind of like Legends of Valhalla from American Pinball. It's still like it's about a year away being coded correctly.
Well, and on top of that, it's not American Pinball doing the coding for Legends of Valhalla. They don't own the code. They don't touch any of it. It is all being maintained and done by the people who created the game. So, and it's not even over on their platform. So whatever methodologies they have for code development and building, it's not following that. So I'm hesitant for that reason alone on Valhalla. But that said, it did actually play. It played pretty well. I wasn't a huge fan of the middle shot, but not something I would not play if I saw it on location.
It's on location at the Pinball Pub.
Oh, it is at the Pinball Pub. Okay, nice.
Just let you know.
And speaking of the Pinball Pub, nope, I couldn't make that segue happen.
Hey,
check.
are you ready to count us down?
Yeah, I am. We have 14 minutes left in the scheduled time, but we have three challenges to complete here, so we better get moving.
Okay.
We're still on Start Gem, right?
Yes. Yep. Start Gem.
All right. 3, 2, 1, plunge.
Fight!
That wasn't even close. Yeah, I went way too soft.
Hey, chat, let's get some odds going in here. Who do we think's
Oh
gonna
my
get this
god, I
first?
got a gem off the skill shot. I'll take it.
That's the way to do it. I say plunge into the arcade 100% of the time. I know that Escher was talking about yesterday that he's not, he's more used to it being on tournament mode, so it only gives you 500,000 points.
Oh my gosh.
We're not playing that way. So.
No. All right, gem off the plunge. So close.
I almost want to just get the disc open so I can. And we
9 out of 10 says Pez will win.
Got it up and snicked.
Oh my god, get there. It was close. It was a close thing.
Dice says my strategy is don't drain.
That's a good strategy.
All right, gem. So Quora. Nope. There we go. Second gem. One more.
Legacy says bank it off the Tron letters.
Yeah, I got the first one that way. Did I already get all three on this?
What, another chance? No, it came around.
Ah, too much.
Whew. All right, I'm gonna start light cycle. Wait, can I start gem in light cycle?
Yes, you can.
No, I'm not. You're crying.
I'm getting heated on this. Sloppy shot up the thing.
Oh my god, I cannot find any shots. Find Quora. We got this. Right there. And got it. Gem started.
Yeah, well done. Good job.
What ball are you on, though?
I just finished the game, so I missed
Oh, okay. Got another one. Whew, I'll take it. Where do you see gems? Oh, so there's not really a way on the game, on the playfield, to keep track of the progress. You just have to know that you get it 3 times.
Yeah, you have to just go around this bend that is this right inner loop that goes underneath the side ramp. Did you know that in the parts list, they actually list the ramps backwards?
Yeah,
So that
somebody told me about that recently. Oh, it may have been Bumper
The
Nugget.
shoot on the left is called the right ramp, and the side ramp is actually called the left ramp because how they return to the flippers.
Yes, absolutely. Extra Paul, if you're still on, didn't we encounter that exact issue? I think we did. I'm not actually going to wait for a response there because that would be silly. Okay.
Good job,
Why did I turn that? Thank you. Thank you. I'm taking that one. We are tied up at 4-4. I don't know why I keep trying to turn the game off right now. But what is our next objective? Since we are coming close to the end here.
3 modes.
Complete 3 modes. Okay.
Okay, so we've been through, I feel like, enough of these. Rather, I'm gonna switch back to chatting. Now, I maybe talk through a little bit of what our thoughts are on this. Obviously, Flynn, if you can short plunge into it, or short plunge into the Zen, like you mentioned earlier, starts it, and then you find the one shot that's roving, seems like a pretty easy first target. Then hitting the recognizer 3 times seems like a really good second target, but after that, Dave, what's your thoughts?
I would maybe, because if you short plunge to the Zen and you get that one-time collection on the Tron, if you could just do that 3 times or just hit your Tron targets, you can actually complete Tron pretty quickly.
Okay.
The other modes, you have to not only start them, but finish them. And so maybe Zeus would be another good one to get.
That's
maybe
the 4 targets.
Yeah, I mean, you would be doing Zeus one time and then just spelling it again. So a total of 8 shots. But
Okay.
sometimes you can rattle that ramp and get both the Z and the U at the same time. I've also seen it where it goes off the S and the U because of how it ricochets.
Okay.
I mean, there's lots of other options, but yeah, I'll have to say Flynn and Recognizer are probably the easiest too, because that's what I actually did to complete the other objective.
Oh yeah, no. I'm referencing that because you nailed that round. So those are the 2 I'm doing at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. I'm gonna switch over to this view here, and I wanna try and say Manu's correctly, and it's been a while since I've tried. So I'm going to try and count us down here. I think it's feel the rhythm, do the thing, eat the stuff, and here's your bling, plunge away.
Fight.
Yeah.
And I missed the short plunge.
Oh, I totally forgot about the short plunge.
All right, so I got Recognizer finished.
Somebody earlier asked about the midnight, and the reason that we're streaming the midnight is because the midnight during the beginning of COVID mentioned immediately allowed streamers to stream their music without fear of getting a bad mark.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, they came out on Twitter immediately saying, hey, streamers, we know there's, since COVID, the RCAA or whatever has made it really difficult to stream music on Twitch. Go ahead and use our music, which I thought was just awesome. And on top of that, I happen to really like their music. Wow, after all of that. So I started Zeus. But I drained. That sucked. So
So the easy ones to complete are Flynn and Zeus, right?
yeah.
Flynn and the Recognizer. Because with the Recognizer down, you finish it.
Crap. Oh, it's there. Where is it's moving?
Your 2
There we
play
go.
styles couldn't be more different.
I'm actually done. So
Nicely
Flynn,
done.
Flynn, Zeus, and Recognizer got done, so.
I just finished Flynn and the Recognizer, and I man, well freaking played. That's awesome, dude.
I got lucky with Zeus. The sling gave me the E, and then I did do that S and U kind of combo, and so.
Yeah. Dang, nicely done. Whew, here we are, 4-5, coming into this last round. And man, it has been me the entire night trying to just keep up with you, Dave. So excellent job. Seriously, on Tron. I've seen you stream Tron a number of times, which is why when I got Tron, the first person I thought of to potentially battle when I got Tron in here was like, I got to battle Pez Johnson. Like, you've been streaming Tron for quite a while now.
Well, I really appreciate the invite, George. This has actually been a lot of fun and stuff like that. So, thanks very much.
Well, thank you. Now, extra ball. This one is unique. We have not gone over how to achieve an extra ball. So I'm gonna switch this scene over to you, Dave. Can you walk us through how one lights and actually gets an extra ball?
12 ramps.
Done.
That's it. Well, 12 ramps, and then the top arrow will light at the arcade. It says extra ball on it, and then you go into the arcade and you collect the extra ball. And it's either ramp. So
Okay.
if you go up the left ramp or the side ramp, both of them count as shots. A lot of times I will find myself getting to the extra ball by accident if I'm in light cycles in Korra, because you start to complete light cycles by hitting the left ramp. So that it always seems like it just kind of happens in kinetic motion. There is on a typical set game, there is a pity extra ball that would very rarely come up in the mystery.
Interesting.
It will, yeah, and I think it just straight up gives it to you. But I do believe it's a pity extra ball, and I think you have to play less than 30 seconds or something like that. And then you also would have to get the mystery award. So, a lot of times with the way that we play, it doesn't happen very often.
Okay. And Death Save Dave is suggesting left ramp, easy shot, 12 times, shoot the scoop. So, and the cool thing about the left ramp is that it feeds your right flipper. So you should be able to just loop it 12 times.
And that's why it's called the right ramp in the Stern parts catalog.
Okay.
It returns right. I don't know why they did that.
That is very odd, but yeah, it's backwards. There's no question.
Yep.
Now, this is another one that's going to be ball and then time. Jedi, do you want to count us down?
Sure. Feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme. Plunge on up, it's pinball time. 3, 2, 1, plunge.
Fight!
There's one ramp.
There's no ramp. Still no ramp. Now that I'm aiming for it.
Little slidey action there.
Little slide. We're fine. We're all fine here. There's two.
I heard that slide. Okay. I mean, physically, I heard the slide. I didn't hear it over the stream. I was just like, was that movement from Fort Collins? I think it was.
You felt the wind from it.
That's right.
Yes.
I hope Wyoming
There's a
enjoys
disturbance in the grid.
I am really struggling with finding this left ramp right now. There it is.
Because you keep on calling it the left, it's really the right.
That joke is never going to get old.
I'm going to keep on saying it. Oh my gosh, game.
No, don't crawl up that. All right, give me a ramp maybe? Nope, I'm gonna get a recognizer there. Wow. Wow, game, okay.
What happened?
It just kicked it immediately into my right outlane.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. And wow, there goes all three balls very quickly. Whoo!
You're on ball 3, Pez?
Yes.
Were prediction points for the whole series or the last challenge? I'm not sure. I did not set up the prediction.
God bless America. Hey, we got light cycles qualified. I'm gonna take it for a ball save.
Oh yeah. Or
maybe I won't take it for a ball
no,
save.
you don't need it. No biggie. Okay.
Are we on ball 4?
Ball 4. Ball 4 it up.
Okay.
There's one.
Is anyone going to try the not drain strategy?
Oh no, apparently not. Apparently not. Nope.
There you go, Pez. Keep it up.
Jedi.
Thank you, Jedi.
No.
Fantastic.
That was beautiful. Yeah, nice loop going.
One of my college gym classes, I needed to take like bowling and golf or something like that, and I was like, just bowling strikes, and then the teacher was just like, wow, you got a really great form going on there. Completely busted it, and I'm like, yeah, okay, thanks.
Yep. That's what happens.
I'm already on ball 6.
I'm on. I'm on ball 5.
Oh.
Nope.
Why don't you at least get the side ramp too? I don't know why that's not happening.
I'm not saying anything.
I know.
Keep up the good work, Jedi.
Yeah. Good times. I don't know what I'm at right now. I think it's like maybe 6.
I think Pez is a little further along than that right now.
Maybe by a smidge.
Not much.
All right, so I've got light cycle lit.
Take it.
I'm gonna take it. No, I'm not. There we go. Go light cycle. There it is.
Oh, I wanted Cora. It wouldn't give me Cora. Okay.
Yeah, give me both of those back.
Oh, it's lit. Oh, in the arcade.
You can do
Did you get it? You got it. You got this.
Oh my God! For goodness sakes. Short
Left
punch
hand.
in there, you dumbass. Sorry, I'm swearing on George's score.
No, it's okay. Oh my God, hit this left ramp. I don't think I hit one center ramp.
You got it.
Finally.
Nice,
Let me see
dude.
the balls of juggling. Balls of juggling.
I am curious, are you on the 3rd ball of your second
Ball
game,
6.
though?
Yeah,
Ball 6, okay. I am, I'm on ball 2 of the second game.
Do it. Oh, I get to shoot again.
I love how surprised you were just then. All right, cool. Come on, we've got this. Left ramp, find the shot.
That is the big difficulty about this game, is that while you do other animations, or if other animations overtake how many ramps that you have, it won't show you how many ramps you have unless you go into the instant info. So like if you find Flynn just then, or if you if you would do the side ramp to qualify one of your light cycle shots, it'll do the light cycle animation rather than the 6 ramps to go for extra ball, or it'll actually count up the ramps, and it'll say that you have 7 ramps, and then it'll say extra ball at 12, and then it says extra ball at 100 if you want to do that many. That's a lot of ramps.
That's a lot of ramps. Ugh. But well freaking played. I'm not sure if you can see it, but Pez, you are the Iron Pinball champion this evening.
George, I completely, I salute you for, honestly, guys, don't panic flip. George takes so much time to put together such an excellent stream. Not only him, but his group of friends at the Pinball Network, and they kind of share the ideas and everything like that. It just keeps getting pinball streaming better and better. So I salute you totally, George, and I really do appreciate the opportunity to do this.
Well, thank you very much. My hat's off to you. That's appreciated. Flipstream, I owe you a Screaming Sun redemption. Don't do it again. It's not enabled on this stream right now. I meant to go turn it off and totally spaced it, but...
Do you want me to do it? I'll just do it live.
Yes,
No,
please, just do it. No, totally. Now you got to do it live. That's a redemption. Yes. Oh, that's great. Where's Bumper Nugget when you need him? So congratulations, huge win. Thank you so much. I've got an Iron Pinball X1 Champ logo that I'm gonna have to send to you via Discord. You feel free to use that where and however you want to.
Thank you, George.
Let's see here. Whittle Scooter, it's gonna take a long time to get 35K for merch. Oh boy, Whittle Scooter, I mean, you talk about that. We've been going for, it'll be 4 years in April. You could instead save up for 150 and get yourself a tattoo. There you go, Evil Peaches, you're right there with me. Get a tattoo. I'm not spending any points till 150. Jedi, if you hit 150, are you getting a tattoo for yourself, or are you getting making me get a tattoo?
You.
Okay. I thought maybe. Well, thank you again, both. That was awesome. I'm gonna do quick shout outs here. So if you guys are not already following Pez Johnson, I just typed that in. Go ahead and click the link, click the follow button, and in addition, nice, I like that. Yeah, that is the Laserdisc, right?
The Laserdisc collection, yeah.
That's awesome.
And if you're not following JediMcMuffin, please click that link, click the follow button. Yeah, and Flipstream, thank you. Shout out JediMcMuffin, exactly. Ooh, man, look at all that gear. Tron, is that an Xbox game?
Oh, that game was fun.
It's for the computer. It's a Windows game.
Okay.
The
Back
original
when
DVD
media.
release, the vinyl original soundtrack. The Blu-ray actually hit the floor, so.
Okay.
I kind of have a fascination about Tron.
I played Tron 2 for PC.
Oh, you did?
And actually, Tron for PC was a setup prequel to Tron Legacy. There's a very small throwaway line that Cora says as they are riding the Solar Sailor towards the portal. And as they're doing that, she says that a sympathetic program smuggled me out during the purge. Well, you are that sympathetic program.
Yeah, wasn't there a game before that one, though?
Just this one is all I know about.
No, I thought there was Tron 2 before that.
Oh, yeah, Disney did release a Tron 2.0, and that one was actually should have been a better sequel to Tron overall. And actually, it kind of flip-flops the role. It's Alan Bradley's son rather than Sam Flynn. So there you go.
Okay, the other side of it. Also, Loose Flip, good morning. No, it was called Tron 2.0. You were Jet. Yeah, okay. Flipstream's just, I think, agreeing with you there. And yeah, thank you guys, everyone, for joining us. Make sure to follow. What do we got coming up here in the near future? So today is Tuesday, which means that Pez Johnson, will be streaming tomorrow night. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday?
Yeah, that'll be after Colorado Pinball. So I'm kind of like their late show that follows them.
Okay.
So 11 p.m. Mountain Time.
And keep in mind then that my schedule has changed. I'm now streaming on Don't Panic Flip 2 days a week and on the Pinball Network on Thursdays. So Thursday I'm coming on early. I think it's 8 p.m. Mountain Time. On Thursday I'll be on Pinball Network, twitch.tv/Pinball Network. Also Facebook, YouTube, and now Trovo, which I don't even understand Trovo at this point. And then next, it is a thing. It's a thing. It's very similar to Twitch. In fact, their interface is an exact copy of Twitch. I'm surprised they aren't getting in trouble for that one.
I'm pretty sure it's the ex-Twitch founders type thing.
Yeah, they have a couple of name changes here and there, like you can buy magic spells and things, but I don't even, whatever. But next Tuesday is our next Iron Pinball Battle, and that's going to be with Frisco Pinball. And then just lined it up before this stream, we have, and that's going to be on Godzilla. And the week after that Tuesday, so 2 weeks from now, will be an Iron Pinball Battle with Anvil 82, Anvil, oh my God, or 87. I just said that, and I realized I have no idea. Anvil, who has Jurassic Park, so we'll be battling with Anvil on that following Tuesday. So we've got another 2 Iron Pinball battles coming up. Really looking forward to it. And once again, Dave and Tommy, thank you so much this evening for making all of this happen. I had a lot of fun.
I had a lot of fun too. Thanks a lot, Jedi, as well, and thanks, George.
Yeah,
you guys, thank you. I had a blast.
Have a good one. Let's go find someone to send all this raid love to, and we'll see everyone on Pez's, Jedi's, and my streams again in the future. See you guys.
Have you been inundated with ads and questions related to TPN's now famous homemade pinball pudding line of puddings? Questions like,
TPN's pinball pudding is so good, it must be illegal, right?
What the fuck is pinball pudding?
How can a collection of content creators also be a pudding? That makes no sense.
And we hear you. You want to know what makes TPN so special? The answer is in TPN's secret ingredient. Simply proof. Other puddings may say they have it too, but watch as they're unable to back those statements up.
Well, I'm not a crook.
Do we have evidence of that?
It might be a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
Evidence? Evidence?
Richard, do I have a mark on my face? Right here. Not here or here so much, but right here.
That's evidence.
We built this city on rock and roll.
Again, request for more evidence.
You can't handle the truth.
Do we have evidence of that?
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody.
Evidence?
Sought TDI clean diesel with up to 814 highway miles per tank.
Do we have evidence of that? Evidence?
Isn't it time you gave TPN's famous homemade pinball pudding line of puddings a try? And check your local retailers for these amazing original and fantastic new flavors from TPN's famous homemade pinball pudding line of puddings.